We get to talk with all kinds of interesting people here, and today we're going to host to a host. We're going to host a host.
Host to host.
Host a host. We're going to host. Anyway, Jonah Lantto, owner of the Good Talk Network, is here. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jonah.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It's great to be back. I'm going to drop a question on you guys right away. I'm catching you here. What was your favorite subject in school?
English for me.
History for me.
English, so a bit of a history buff then we have on our hands, and maybe a writer?
Yes.
Those are my two favorite subjects, so we are all in good company here today. And of course, the reason I ask is we wanted to have a chance to talk about one of the shows we produce here on the Good Talk Network. It's called Edheads, and it's a show that focuses on a lot of really awesome topics and really sometimes divisive, sometimes interesting topics within the world of public education. It's hosted by Dan Kahn and Chelsea Holtz. Dan Kahn is a professor at Minot State University, actually a multiple-time winner of their Professor of the Year award. He's got a new book coming out very soon. I'm excited to say his book is called The Assessment Industrial Complex. Really good stuff. And this week, they're in season 3. So Chelsea and Dan, Chelsea's also a very brilliant educator here in the Minot area. She's the co-host, and their third season debuts on Friday, and we're really excited. They were asked to present the awards for the American Association of Teaching and Curriculum. Really, really cool, amazing organization, and what they stand for is to promote the scholarly study of teaching and curriculum. So that's, and Dan and Chelsea are live with us every Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time on the Good Talk Network.
It's fantastic, and there's so much going on in education in the state right now. Just wondering if any topics will include, what's happening with COVID and accessibility to classrooms in person. Are they going into those topics at all?
That's a great question. As a matter of fact, they spent several episodes in season 2 covering those very topics. Some of the interesting things they've covered: teachers' rights. What rights do teachers have in a time of crisis such as COVID? Students' rights, parents' rights. They've talked about racism in our schools, bullying. One of their big topics is, of course, testing and homework. So, and they get not only a lot of brilliant guests from the region of North Dakota, but nationally as well. And some of the awards that they'll give out, that they'll be recognized during the AATC Awards. They'll give out the Outstanding Book Award, the John Laska Dissertation Award, and other things that recognize teachers. So I think it's fantastic, and they don't always agree. That's one of the great parts, is that Dan and Chelsea are not always on the same position with some of these topics, which I think it's important that we can show people the nature of a healthy disagreement and get back to a world where we can have a conversation where we don't necessarily agree and still find that middle ground and learn from one another.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, we disagree all the time.
We do?
But,
it happens.
No, that's fantastic. And, the podcast format, again, we have said, is so nice because you get to have longer conversations, a little more in-depth conversations, talking about really important stuff right now. And we're both parents, so, the North Dakota education system is very important to both of us. With the Friday season premiere, can you give us a little teaser of what they will be discussing on that first episode?
Sure, absolutely. Their guest is Dr. Drew Kemp. So he's the current president of the American Association for Teachers, for Teaching and Curriculum. And again, they'll kind of be recognizing each person nominated for the various awards. And I don't have the full list of all the awards that will be given and recognized that day, but there are a number of them. So they'll kind of go through each award, what it means, who the nominees are, and then they will make that announcement. So it's certainly, for all the teachers involved in the AATC, it's a great recognition. It's an awesome thing that we're doing. And it's really cool that right here in Minot, North Dakota, we get to present these national awards that this is a symbol of recognition of an achievement for any teacher who is recognized and nominated and takes one of these home. So it's really really an honor. I'm glad that the Good Talk Network can host that, and I'm proud of Dan and Chelsea and the work they do. And I would say, as parents with kids in school, or if you're a teacher, Edheads is for everybody. They focus certainly on a lot of local and regional topics, but it gets very national. And I would say that for any teacher or parent, you should tune into this because if education is important to you. Our kids are going to spend maybe a third or a fourth of their lifetime, right, with these virtual strangers. Let's talk about what's happening in our schools. Let's talk about how our kids are learning. Let's talk about what they are learning and why. It's just so important, the work that Dan and Chelsea are doing on the Edheads podcast.
Well, thank you, Jonah. This has been Let's Talk with Jonah Lantto, and he was just talking about Edheads on the Good Talk Network. You can find out more about Edheads on Friday or the entire network by visiting thegoodtalknetwork.com. Thank you so much, Jonah.
Yes, thanks, Jonah.
Do
We
I have
appreciate
time
you
for
being
one last little thing?
Sure, go ahead.
October 26th is the debut of Midwest Murder. We've teased it a few times here on the show. We'll have a bigger teaser next time. I'm back in 2 weeks, but October 26th, Monday, the first episode of Midwest Murder. It's focusing on a murder right here in Minot, North Dakota.
We are excited to hear that for sure. Thank you so much, Jonah.
We appreciate it. Coming up next, the technology you don't want to miss.
That's right. Beth and Tammy are live in the studio right now. They're going to show us how it